This is your ROT recap, episode 5. We kicked the night off with T. Louie 09 defending her Twitch TV title against a newcomer, Breespawn. While Breespawn was able to show a really flashy high-flying offense, it was no match for not one, but 2 glam shot DDTs. T. Louie retains, and at this point you have to ask yourself, who can take that title off of her? Next, we shift our focus back to the Rage in the Cage tournament as Hot and Spicy Curry takes on Francesca, and before the match could even begin, the masked woman reappeared again, this time taking out Francesca before the match even started. With Francesca not at 100%, Hot and Spicy Curry was able to easily take the win, moving on to the next round of the tournament. These attacks from the masked woman feel without logic and random, and at this point, who can tell what her motivations are? Next up, we had a first for ROT. The debut of the Scrapyard Scramble saw Frosted Mac and Cheese, Kay Meowski, Fine Arts Fairy, and Violent Violet all take place in a 4-way match. This new staple in the ROT lineup has weapons and high ledges and unpredictability, and with this week, Violent Violet won, earning her a Twitch TV title match next week. Back to the Rage in the Cage tournament as Velic Horde took on Tiny Mac with the rest of her family in tow. Nothing is shocking in ROT, but the debuting Tiny Mac was able to overcome Velic Horde, who's been on an absolute tear in the first 4 weeks. This upset win moves Tiny Mac into the next round of the tournament. On the other side of the bracket, we saw Jack the Colorful Cat take on Yi Yin. Now, Jack has been looking for a win since his debut in ROT, and he's come very close a lot of times. We saw him almost get the upset win in Hot Girl Fight Club, and he was moments away from putting away this match and moving on in the tournament. However, Yi Yin's tag team partner Yona made an appearance which caused a distraction, picking up the win for Yi Yin. I can't help but wonder, with Yi Yin and Yona running rampant in the division as a tag team, and this new alliance we've seen between Kuro Angel and Jack the Colorful Cat blooming, could we see some tag team tension there? Next up, we had the best tag team in the world in action. Not as a tag team. They were fighting each other in round 1 of the tournament. The Diamond Patriot and Tabby went to absolute war against each other, and you wouldn't have been able to tell they were a tag team by the way that they were just duking it out. The Diamond Patriot was able to put away Tabby in the end, and there was a little show of sportsmanship at the end. You'll love to see it. Speaking of sportsmanship, up next, Janan took on Kuro Angel in round 1 of the tournament. Now, this was a hard-fought back-and-forth match, and it really could have went either way, but Kuro Angel was able to pull out her first win in ROT. The big story here is that after the match, Kuro Angel's being interviewed, talking about what this big win means for her in progressing in the tournament when Janan interrupts. It looked like tensions were going to boil over, but ultimately, it ended in a sign of respect. And in our main event, and the last first round match of the ROT Rage in the Cage tournament, Tanxtonary looked to take on Yona for the last spot in the semifinals. However, Brian Spector attacked Yona backstage, taking her spot in the tournament. With Tanxtonary getting a new opponent at the last minute, we all thought Brian Spector was going to wedge her way into the tournament and take the spot. However, after 2 spears and 2 23-mile-an-hour clotheslines, Tanxtonary moves on. I think after episode 5, we have a lot of questions looking into episode 6. Who is the masked woman, and what's the motivation behind these attacks? How will Brian Spector's attack on Yona play out with the rest of the family? And who will move on to fight 8 corpses at Rage in the Cage in the main event for the World Championship? We'll get all these answers and more as we come back for ROT episodes 6 and 7 on April 21st and 23rd. Thank you so much for everyone who supported ROT up to this point. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.